Alright, we have the finals of the draft league here going on versus of Sig and Colin. Not gonna spoil too much about Sig's team. Me and him went through testing here. Um, Colin's team was pretty much as we expected here. We didn't expect Dashbun to come along. Sableye was a maybe though. So just getting up rocks first. Let's see. Does the Hippo want to get rocks of its own? Colin might try to do rocks here, or he might just Earthquake. But there's the issue of Rotom and Zapdos having ground immunities here, so probably going to go into those. Colin predicts that, just wants to get the Stealth Rock up, it seems. This is a bit of an awkward spot in testing, we've noticed. Because Rotom's only option here is to just go for Hydros, and he can't Volt Switch out because ground immunity, or electric immunity is ground type. So, yep, he always burns here in this situation just to make sure. At least stops potential leftovers from doing it. We see the Hippo here is actually not leftovers, so it could be soft sand, could be boots, not quite sure. Could be citrus berry actually. That's probably the most likely option here. I wonder if Sig predicts this in Volt Switches. Okay, no, he just goes to the safe play and Hydro Pumps. Sig will probably Volt Switch here just to get good damage on the Slowking. Or whatever this is. Does he do it? He Hydras again, expecting another switch back into Hippo, it seems. That's really unfortunate. Because this thing definitely does have Energy Ball. And the Energy Ball almost certainly will do like 70%. Maybe it might kill, depending on Sig's EV spreads. And this Glimmora is most certainly faster than this Rotom Wash, because Rotoms do not run speed. They run pretty much all bulk. It's like 252 HP. And then the rest of it in either defense or special defense. So this Glimmora will be faster. It will hit the Energy Ball. It does less than I thought it would. But we are in sand here, so Rock, I think, gets a special defense increase. So, he probably should have just gone for Volt Switch for Switch Initiative to make sure to get out. You know he's got an Energy Ball. You can pretty much just go into Slow Kick here pretty much for free if you did. Not having Rotom here with having it below half health can be pretty rough here. Specifically because it's like the perfect answer to Hippo. And Rotom's going to get continually chipped down by Sandstream, which is an issue. So that can be a problem. If this is physically defensive Washington, or Rotom washed, it could also do well dealing with Dash Bun and kind of Sableye, because this thing's attack isn't great, and Sableye usually runs like Foul Play or Dazzling Gleam, maybe at most. So we shall see. Sig taking his time and picking what move. So let's go into Tinkaton. We know it's not Assault Vest, but this thing has very high special defense. So Sig threatens a what's it called? Tinkaton's Hammer move, whatever it's called. Gigaton Hammer. He threatens that to kill the here, so he probably switches into Hippo. It was either Hippo or what's it called? Soaking. Oh, it was leftovers. That was. Did it not heal before? Okay, that might be my bad. I might have just not seen it. So he goes into Hippo. Hippo threatens an Earthquake here. He might predict it and go for a Crunch or something. No, he just switches out. Okay. Donphan, we see that it's heavy duty boots here, and Slowking. The Donphan really doesn't have much to hit the Slowking with besides maybe Grass Knot, which I don't even think does much damage to Slowking. So Sig's in a little bit of a bad position. Just wants to get rid of rocks here, it seems. Just a simple Future Sight. While Future Sight is pretty good on the Slowbros and Slowkings, Sig does have an option to deal with it, or multiple options in Tinkaton and Roy Moon, with one being a really good resistance and one being just an immunity. So we shall see what happens here. He probably Chilling Receptions out here, because Donphan can deal damage, and if he Chilling Receptions, he can just get out. So, oh no, he just decides to sack off. Okay. We have the Battle of the Slowkings now. I think I was gonna say in the war of attrition, normal Slowking definitely does better. So Sig predicting a switch out, going for a chilling reception, going into Roaring Moon to stop the future sight. Good on him on recognizing it was that time for that to go off. Now the question is Sig choiced or is he running like a life orb set or something else? We didn't see boost energy proc, so we know it's not that, which means it's probably choiced of some sort. It might be Scarf just to try and outspeed Meowscarada, so we don't get player off by Meowscarada and died. Or died, excuse me. Or it can be banned just to make use of its huge offense and just be going max speed. 25%, that looks like it's Scarf then, if it's only hitting 25. I feel like if it was banded, it would at least done like 30-ish. So it's probably a Scarfed Roaring Moon. Yep, and Dash Button is going to be able to deal with that pretty well. He'll probably Wish here as Dash Button and try to get in probably his Glamora to get some HP back. Or no, actually his Hippowdon. He'll probably go into Hippowdon after the Wish. Try to make sure that's as bulky as possible. Once Rotom goes down, dealing with Hippo becomes a lot harder. So he'll probably Wish, go into Hippo after he dies probably, and then try to heal up. Oh, no, he just goes for Protect. Okay. Just trying to scout out to see what he does to see if he's banded. Because there's a chance Roaring Moon has Iron Head. He probably is trying to scout that out, so he probably protects so that he can guarantee live the Iron Head after the -1 defense. And to see if he's choiced. Since Sig switched out there, Colin probably knows he's choiced. Or that he doesn't have something to deal with Dash Button. So, Donphan, this thing also gets Iron Head. So, Dash Button has to be pretty careful here. Oh, that's... I forgot we did have Roar in this thing, but it was for something different. We thought he'd bring to Titan, so we had Roar on this, and like Dragon Tail on Roaring Moon, or Roaring Moon, just to make sure. Yep, the Wish comes into play here. Earthquake did, what, 21%? So, he needs 2 Earthquakes, essentially, to take him out. He got really lucky living with 1% HP. Like, very lucky. That is genuinely huge for him. Because Hippo is his rocker. So now he can get a Brox again, essentially for free. And if the Hippo went down, he wouldn't have rocks. He wouldn't have his check to Rotom using Volt Switch, etc. So that thing living on 1 HP, actually huge. He potentially breaks the Sash on Meow, which is nice. If he has Ice Spinner, he could just go for Ice Spinner and try to kill the Meowscarada, who's probably going to Flower Trick here. Which honestly isn't a bad idea. I don't think this thing at +1 outspeeds Meowscarada, so that's not a problem here. So he does have Sturdy built in, so he could live anything. So he could have gone for, what's it called? Ice Spinner if he had it, but I'm not sure if he did. And he might just wanted to keep it healthy to deal with the other mons on his team. So, I don't think Meowscarada has anything to deal with this, and I think a Tinkaton Hammer will kill back. So he'll probably switch into Hippo, because we've only seen Stealth Rock and Knockoff from Tinkaton, which doesn't really do anything to Hippo. And if his Gigaton Hammer, Hippo is very bulky. So he probably goes into that here. Looking between the two teams and how much damage has been dealt here, I'd say Colin has a slight advantage, specifically because of Rotom here being below half health is pretty big. Rotom is such a good defensive core for Sig to be able to switch out and get initiative here and there, as well as essentially having ground immunity, to be very bulky, etc. The fact that it's already down to 49% HP is pretty big. So let's see here. Let's see what moves they make. He does go into Hippo, as predicted there. Switches back into Donphan. Now, how much Psyche? He has 6 Psych-Offs yet, so gotta be careful with that. Predicts the Rapid Spin. That's a good one. Good play for Colin here. Now, this thing could just have Will-O-Wisp for Prankster. Could have like Will-O-Wisp, knockoff. I don't really know what else this thing can use in singles besides those two. In all honesty, I know it has foul play, which can be pretty good versus a couple of 6-mons. Could have Dazzling Gleam to hit Roaring Moon. Just wants to get the boots off of it, so you can't switch it out. This Roar's doing a lot of chip damage here and there to Colin's team, which is really quite nice. If we can chip like a couple of the mons down enough here and there, could be nice. Just wants to get rid of the Glamora in general, it seems. So Glamora's down. First mod taken of the game at turn 23. Not sure how big of a big advantage that would be, or that is for Sig right now. The only thing Glamora really did was threaten Rotom. And like, if it got Dazzling Gleam, maybe Roaring Moon. But he also has Meowscarada, who can threaten both of those with like the same type coverages with Grass and Fairy. So we've seen U-turn and Flower Trick. All right, so Sig decides to opt to let his Donphan go down to get rid of his rocks. That is his only rocks hazard removals right now. So if Hippo comes out and is able to get rocks up, they will be up for permanent. They will be up permanently. So, what does Sig do here versus Slowking? I think he has to go Salamence here to threaten a Crunch. Not Salamence, Roaring Moon, my bad. He might have to go into Roaring Moon to threaten a Crunch to hit Slowking for really good damage. A Crunch does potentially KO it if he's banded, I think. Good play on the U-turn. I forgot Zapdos gets U-turn. Versus Slowking, U-turn, how much did it do? 35. Looking at the calcs, let's see here. Zapdos probably isn't banded. So I wonder what item this is. Me and Sig did test a lot, but this was like over a week ago we tested. So I'm not quite sure what his movesets are anymore. So it might be Scarf to try and outspeed a couple mons here and there, like Meowscarada and stuff like that, and Scarfed Glamora. So going into this game, me and Sig definitely predicted Chilling Reception into Cetitan, and then Belly Drumming. Belly Drum to Titan put in so much work versus 16 that the fact that Colin doesn't have it's kind of crazy. But Colin's been pulling his weight very well, even without having the potential sweeping option of Cetitan here. Now, what is this? He probably knockoffs here with Sableye. Yeah, just to get rid of healing. Puts it on a Toxic Timer, which is kind of nice here. The knockoff did a lot more damage than I really was expecting here. So, he probably Chilling Receptions out here. Yep. And he probably goes into, if I were to make a guess, I'd say Tinkaton. He probably doesn't want to risk taking too much damage with Roaring Moon. We do see knockoff recover. This thing might have Will-O-Wisp. But that doesn't matter versus Roaring Moon because Prankster doesn't work with dark types. But it also could have Dazzling Gleam, which would hit Roaring Moon for about 50%. And he probably doesn't want his Roaring Moon to get chipped that much. So goes into Rotom Wash. Interesting. Using Chilling Reception. So this thing is still just recovering away. Only 8 PP for recovery moves nowadays, which is really nice, which means you can't infinitely stall with your recovery moves. Really nice for the Draft League formats as we've seen in past games. We even had a game go down to PP stall for recovery moves, which is kind of funny. Sig used Eerie Spell, Slowking to stall out Wishes and I think Slack-Offs, which is kind of funny. Switches into Hippo here, probably trying to threaten a super active move. Sig just Chilling Receptions out, just gets the Regenerator health, goes into a Rotom. Now, if he's able to get like a Toxic off on the other Slowking, it could be huge. But the problem is you gotta. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That might have actually killed if that had hit. Rotom Wash versus Hippo. Hydra, it would have killed. That's really unfortunate. That's 2 times in a row. Well, not in a row, but that's 2 times now that the Hippo was essentially one hit away from just dying. Oh, let me pull this in here so you can see a little better. There we go. Goes back into Slowking. Colin's just trying to put on some pressure with Future Sight so that he can make sure that Zapdos does not come in on a Future Sight. Zapdos cannot come in, or else it will threaten dying to Future Sight. So it pretty much forces Zapdos to stay in the back for the time being. And at some points, it forces Roaring Moon to come out to avoid getting it here. So it goes into Roaring Moon. He probably crunches here. If I were to guess, just because you have to take the chance of this thing staying in. There's no way Colin actually stays in here, though, because Slowking is just such a huge maw for his team that he'd probably switch. There's, no reason he doesn't switch out here. Wow, he actually lived at 5. That's insane. I bet these are rolls, and Sig is just getting really unlucky, if I were to guess. So him going into Meow probably means he is, probably means he has, what's it called? Play Rough. So if he does hit a Play Rough here, it does kill. He doesn't want to, yep, there it is. He probably didn't want to test the waters of this being potentially Scarfed. Yep, there it is. Scarfed. We actually prep for this. We're like, what if he Scarfs back to guarantee he outspeeds Roaring Moon? And so Sig was toying with the idea of Pickpocket, so that he could potentially steal a choice item from physical attackers. I can't believe that actually worked. Sig's little idea in our testing actually worked. That's crazy. So now we know this Meowscarada will be slower than Roaring Moon, probably. Well, there's a chance. From the damage that it did to Slowking, I don't think it's banded. It's probably Scarfed Roaring Moon, which means now Roaring Moon will be faster than Meowscarada. So Roaring Moon doesn't have to fear Meowscarada anymore. It probably OHKOs back with something. Goes into Sableye. This thing probably has Will-O-Wisp, if I were to guess. He's probably going to Prankster Will-O-Wisp here. But you can't... this does it kill, though? The question is, does Brave Bird through Will-O-Wisp kill? Yep, there it is. It does, okay. So Sableye is also down now. But the problem is Zapdos is now heavily neutered here. Zapdos pretty much does 0 damage to Slowking. Does actually 0... actually, wait. Does this kill? Zapdos, Galar. I'm going to guess it's Scarfed versus Slowking. And let's make this thing burned. U-turn does 22 to 26. If these max... So, yeah, okay. Probably U-turns here with Zapdos. Oh, he just Brave Birds. That's crazy. Alright, so he probably... I'm surprised he's on U-turn. Oh, I forgot. So that pretty much shows that he's Scarfed there. So that's 4 Slack Off down. Only 4 more to go. So this thing has Stealth Rock, Slack Off. It probably has Earthquake. And it probably... Does it... I wonder what else it has. So, how much did that do? 48? Volt Switch might kill here, I think. He's probably trying to get as much recovery as possible from Protects. But the sand chips away and stops any sort of recovery, essentially. So he might just go back into Hippo to risk a Hydro. Just because if he throws out Hydro, it might miss. Oh, no, he stays in. Okay. And the Volt Switch does end up killing. So Dash Bud is now gone. Pretty much anything that can threaten Roaring Moon with a singular KO is pretty much out of the game. Because Meow is no longer faster than Roaring Moon. Because Scarf was stolen. Slowking can't kill it. Hippo, I don't think can kill it at all. But it can whittle it down, definitely. So I think at this point we know Roaring Moon is scarfed. Roaring Moon, if it's choice scarfed, it is doing a solid, probably like 30% to hippo. Yeah, Crunch is doing 30 to 36. Earthquake's doing 44 to, well, actually, if I burn the Hippowdon, it is doing 22 to 26. And so, in the end, well, there might be defense drops. So if Sig is able to get a few defense drops with Crunch, Sig can win this game, just straight up. If he doesn't get lucky with the defense drops, then Hippo wins the War of Attrition and beats down the Roaring Moon. The thing is, you kind of need this thing to lose all of its lack-offs, or else this thing kind of beats his team. If he doesn't have another attacking move, then Rotom can deal with it by just sitting there and forcing this thing to PP struggle. Ooh, Rocks is actually huge, because I think that guarantees Rotom Wash dies to Rocks, which is actually huge. That's the one thing that can deal with Hippo. There's the defense drop. There's the Earthquake, 23. Yep, so this thing is max HP and then max a defense stat. Hippo's now down. The question is, does this thing kill Meowscarada with Crunch? No, it does not. So he has to switch here, essentially. Yeah. So he needs Roaring Moon. He needs to chip, what's this thing? This thing down into at least 34 damage, 34%. If he doesn't, what? Oh, I guess he wants he wants to switch his move. So he's faster because he's scarfed. He U-turns, kills. Switches into, you switch into Slowking here. Yep, and then you Toxic. And that should be GG's. I think with this, Sig wins 4-0. Because Sig clicks Toxic, and he puts him on a timer. Yep, there you go. And that should be GG's. And that's it. There's nothing he can do at this point. Foul play, we had 4 versus Titan. So, congratulations to Sig for becoming the Eastern North Carolina Draft League's first Season 1 champion, or the first champion of the Draft League. And I feel a little better about my loss now, because I lost to Sig last round. I think like 3-0. Could have been 2-0 if I made a better play, but I got pretty close. I don't think I could have beaten Colin in the finals, so I'm glad that Sig won so that he could actually beat Colin. Colin was undefeated going into this match right here. He was undefeated the whole season, made it to finals of playoffs. Very good player. Deserved to be in this playoffs 100%. Did break to Titan, which was pretty interesting. Definitely saw that coming over Dash Fun. But Sig played very well. Played to his advantages. Tried to get the major concerns out of the way. And just slowly whittled down the rest of his team. So, yep, that'll be it for now. Congrats to Sig. And congrats to Colin for making it to finals. And yep, see y'all next time we have another Draft League. It'll be VGC next time.